everyone. It's my pleasure and honor to speak with Arun Augustine of Messengerify today. Arun is the co-founder and CEO of Messengerify. Arun, thank you for making it here.
Thank you. My pleasure, actually.
One of the first things I wanted to ask you is, when I look at your background, you have all the key words that any computer science guy might want to see on his resume. Big data, visualization, artificial intelligence, machine learning, advanced, everything. Right? Now, with this kind of background, and after spending a few years in companies like Amazon, what made you want to come back to India and to Cochin?
Right. So, I guess the reason why I went to the US, I was specifically wanting to go to Silicon Valley and learn about building startups, because that has been my passion for like ever. And I wanted to do startup by myself as soon as possible. And all these experiences was my plan to build my career towards that. But after reaching the Valley, after spending 2.5 years with Amazon, I realized the H-1B visa that I had while I was working there did not allow me to set up my own company while in the Silicon Valley. So I realized the only option is to come back to India. And then when I thought about it, I realized it's not too bad. Yeah. Because coming back to India, if I came back and if I'm succeeding here, the ecosystem here will benefit either through jobs that I help create here, or perhaps it will inspire other people to come back and grow the ecosystem here, which is always good for our country. And that's the reason I came back.
Okay, no, that is a great story and a great reason for coming back. And in terms of your time at Amazon and the Valley,
yes,
what are the things that you saw from other entrepreneurs that were there?
Okay.
And what are the things that you liked that you think that could be replicated here in Cochin?
So in the Valley, the atmosphere is like even every coffee shop, you hear conversations about startups, about ideas, about app ideas at that time. And people were not scared of sharing ideas. Yes. And people were they were looking for a way to help the other guy out. Even if it is through connections, or I know a designer guy who can help you out with this, or I know a business analyst who can help you work through this business idea. It was always helping each other out, and the talk was always on startups. Mm-hmm. And
there are also large companies there, right?
Large companies too. So all these environments, and all these large companies also were like encouraging of startups. Mm-hmm. They were allowed to visit and then explore the company spaces. Mm-hmm. And it was always about ideas, new ideas, what is going to disrupt the world. Correct. And the talk was only about that. And that's amazing thing to replicate anywhere else. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and I think we know that that's not easy to do. I mean,
yes.
it takes years of
it takes time, I think.
From the people, from the entrepreneurs, from the industry ecosystem to actually create it. So now a little bit back to Messengerify. What is the core idea behind Messengerify?
Okay.
And what is the main pain point you are solving with it?
Okay. So the Messengerify is actually an accidental startup, I say, because this is the third idea that we built and launched as a team. Mm-hmm. The very first idea that we worked on was called Travel Ally. It was a chatbot for travel booking. Mm-hmm. And after the first 10 tickets that we booked, we realized it is like a discount game, and then the unit economics did not make sense. Mm-hmm. And then we pivoted into a two-sided marketplace called QuoteSap, which was a RFQ, request for quote marketplace. Mm-hmm. And it was while working through on QuoteSap that we had a problem that when customers came to the website, we had added a live chat widget. Mm-hmm. But once they left the website, we had no way of re-engaging them. Mm. We would send emails, but the consumer doesn't open email. I mean, maybe they open once a week or something. But so we created a small widget that sent messages to their Facebook inbox instead, and suddenly the engagement rates were like 6 times better.
But how did you find out their Facebook Messenger?
So we requested them to give us permission to just send a message to Facebook Messenger. And that widget did that trick. So that was a small widget that used Facebook APIs to request their permission according to Facebook policies.
So you captured their Facebook information and then you were able
not the whole Facebook information, just their permission to send them a message.
Correct.
And so we, we thought we'll do it. We put it out as a side project. Mm-hmm. We created a small landing page thinking, okay, maybe other businesses might be interested in it. Mm-hmm. And someone hunted us on Product Hunt and it sort of went a little viral after that. And it started making, a couple of $1,000s a month from then. And then
Very good.
we realized that's making more money than our main project, and that's when we pivoted onto Messengerify full time.
Great.
And the key problem that it solves is that for a consumer-facing company or a B2C company, emails as a re-engaging mechanism. So once a visitor comes into your website and then leaves, and then you want to send them re-engaging messages, send them a discount coupon, or what's up? I mean, do you want to complete the sales kind of messaging? Emails doesn't work anymore because open rates for email is like 2.1%, and or even worse. Or when compared to messenger channels like WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger, it is like 13%, like 6 times better than emails. And we realized this in our own case, and also in the customers that were buying up the MVP product that we sold. And that's the reason we're building this marketing automation platform around this messenger channels right now with Messengerify.
Okay. Arun, you have been telling me about the ups and downs of being an entrepreneur, and we discussed it at somewhat of a length in a little bit. So during these ups and downs, what actually keeps you motivated and balanced?
Okay, so I have a lot of mentors. I mean, their names would be Robert Pirsig, Steve Jobs, or Warren Buffett, or whenever I have a difficult issue, if it is a financial issue, I would think, okay, what would Warren Buffett do in this situation? What would Jesus do in this situation if it is team trouble or philosophy issue? Yeah. So I turn to these mentors who have written down their thoughts in books or blogs, and then I keep reading them myself. Paulo Coelho is another guy. So he keeps me advising about things, and that's how I know.
That is a very interesting approach. So your mentors are all, are people that have written books and have accomplished great things.
Yeah, so they're more accessible, actually. I just have to open a book. So.
Okay. So now, apart from mentors, how do you manage the stress of the ups and downs you face in entrepreneurship, right? So what is your fitness routine or a stress management routine? Yeah,
so that has been something that I've struggled for some time. So it took me a while, but recently I've been into a routine where I go, running 5 kilometers twice a week, and then during the intervening days, I've taken up yoga and pranayama for de-stressing, and music is always, the standard staple for de-stressing. So, yeah.
Excellent. No, that's good to know. I think that's a good lesson for other entrepreneurs as well. Yoga, pranayama.
It works.
I know it does. I mean, I do some of that as well in my routine. How has the NASSCOM 10,000 startups contributed to your growth?
So the NASSCOM 10,000 Startup Warehouse is actually where all the magic happens. It's where we collaborate with our team, and then it's more than a workspace. It's a collaboration between our team, peer groups, other entrepreneurs. So we kind of get ideas, we share, brainstorm, and then we get access to mentors that NASSCOM provides us. And also we get an opportunity to showcase our product to the industry and to the world through the NASSCOM channel, which is a huge thing.
So I think you also mentioned that NASSCOM helps you attract, or the facility helps you potentially attract your talent.
Talent too. So that's NASSCOM has a good enough brand that, so when I call up a candidate for hiring and say, okay, I'm a NASSCOM incubated startup, we are within InfoPark working in the NASSCOM warehouse in Cochin. So they are more excited to come and interview with us. So that's a huge thing.
Great. Now, I also noted that you are one of the few startups that got funded by Kerala Startup Mission.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that, and how did you go about getting that funding?
So the Kerala Startup Mission has these grants for startup. So they have 3. The first one is an idea stage grant, and then there's a productization grant if you have a working MVP, and then there is a scale up grant if you have a product with a couple of customers and you want to scale up the market. So we had applied for the productization grant, and there was an application process. We sent in our details. We sent in the details about our MVP that was bringing in money. So it's sort of validated in the market, and we wanted to build out the product based on features that the customers were requesting.
Cool.
And we had to pitch in front of industry panel, and based on which we were selected. We were one of 31 startups that were selected out of 241 in that SaaS track, this software as a service track that was going on. And then, then we got selected, and then we got the grant.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That was good. That's good. It's a good story. So let us just go a little bit tangential.
Okay.
If you won the lottery,
Okay.
right, what would you do?
So if I won the lottery, I would probably get MacBooks for my whole team and standing desks, because health is important.
But you won't quit entrepreneurship.
Oh no, not really.
Yeah. Good. But I thought your answer would be, it depends on what is the size of the lottery money, right? So in terms of couple of things on your bucket list, things
Okay.
that you want to do in life.
Personal.
Yeah, personal or professional. What is it that?
Okay, it's usually travel.
Yeah.
So two places that still on my mind is, one is see the Northern Lights in Iceland, living in an ice hotel or something.
Yeah.
And second is actually a pilgrim route, old Christian pilgrim route across Spain and France. It's called the Camino de Santiago.
Oh, okay.
It's the basis of the movie called The Way, which stars Martin Sheen.
Oh.
So and also Paulo Coelho's book is The Pilgrimage is based on that. So
I see.
that's one thing that I want to do.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. Well, I hope you get to do
both
of that sooner than later. As you are running this company, right, what are a couple of values that embody what Messengerify does, or your personal values? How is it reflected in your company?
Okay, so we have a core value set at Messengerify, and for me personally too. So which is first one is building something people want. So it's a customer centricity or customer obsession, and making customer delight. So make something that delights the customer. That's the very first one. Second is to have a hacker mindset. So which is like you build things because it's fun to build things. It's fun to learn, fun to explore, and it's okay to fail. So because failure happens, it's okay to fail, but you get fun, you learn. That's the key aspect, a curiosity to learn.
Okay.
And third is to make data-driven decisions instead of claiming ideas are better because of authority or things like that.
Correct.
Data-driven decisions is something that I learned at Amazon actually. And the fourth is integrity. So to be true to ourselves and to our customers, to be honest. And so those four things, I guess, define what was important to me, and what we are trying to build as a culture in my startup too.
That is great.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about your team, and a little bit about how you came together?
Okay, so we are three co-founders. Myself, there is Jijo Varghese and Jovis Joseph. So we sort of complement each other in skill set. And we did hire two people, one for the marketing and one for development. We just look for that spark, somebody who wants to do a startup on the side, or really crazy about building things, learning new things.
Sure.
So we really go looking for those people, and then the idea is to bring them together, and amazing things will come out hopefully.
Absolutely.
So that's the key idea.
So where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
The startup, so for Messengerify, the hope is in 5 years we become a 10 million annual recurring revenue company. And with a team size of less than 100 people who are
That's excellent.
happy to come to work every day. So
Wow. Yeah, that is very clear. So if I were to ask you, what are a couple of parting thoughts that you want to provide to aspiring entrepreneurs?
Okay.
What might those be?
I guess I learned these things the hard way, because when I was in the Valley, like I was trying to do all these things and it didn't work out, and I learned it the hard way. Was the first thing is it takes a team to build a startup. You cannot do it by yourself, because you need a set of complementary skills and a whole bunch of them. Like it's not just building a product. There is design, there is UX, there is negotiation, there is business skills, there is financial modeling. You cannot master all of them and build a startup by yourself. So that's the first thing. And second thing I realized was you cannot do it on your side. At some point you have to take a leap of faith. And leap of faith means you don't know what's lying ahead. A leap of faith means you just have to trust that it'll work out. And you have to take it at some point, because that's how it works.
Fantastic. Congratulations once again, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.